Alright guys, so you just saw my movie review of the 2002 Reign of Fire. Now, the reason why I did that review and what sparked a movie review was because I was going to do a full-on review of the Reign of Fire PS2 game. Well, let's just say this is going to be more of a rant review and not traditional like normal game reviews, because really there's not much of a game to actually review here. Released in the same year, 2002, and developed by BAM Entertainment and produced by Spyglass Entertainment, the same people that brought us the really good film, comes the Reign of Fire PS2 game. What can I say about this game and why did it piss me off so much? Well, if you have seen the movie, or if you remember the movie at all, the movie is set in a very desolate year of 2020, where dragons have taken over the earth, man is on the brink of extinction, pretty much extinct almost at this point, and the game does a kind of good job of capturing that for the cutscene. And what I mean by capturing that is by using clips of the movie. Now, that's about the much praise as I can give it right there for the beginning. The cutscene at the beginning shows the very beginning of the film, very compressed by the way, to make it fit on the disc.
I was there when they found the first. Watch the one multiply into many. Watch the many spread across the globe, burning all before them and feasting on the ash. Cities fell. London, Paris, Rome. Over time, mankind had deceived themselves.
And then shows you one of the Marine people or guys in Matthew McConaughey's crew who you see for like 30 seconds. And that's supposed to be, I guess, like your main character? I'm not really sure. So the way that the game plays out is very much like Rogue Squadron, if I were to compare it to anything. Star Wars Rogue Squadron. A very good game where you use vehicles to take down other vehicles and bases in the Star Wars universe. This game, you're all based on shitty vehicles that you saw within the movie, like Hummers and tanks, to go take on their dragons throughout the entire game. Now, when I first saw this, I was like, well, this seems a little weird because, you know, you could have done so much more with the game, but sure, okay, vehicles, trying to fight dragons with the vehicles, fine. That was a part of the film, fine. It's PlayStation 2, I might be able to get past this. Well, the very first intro of the game, where you're using the vehicle literally goes 5 miles an hour.
Come on, follow your scanner if you're lost.
It seems like I'm driving with the parking brake on throughout the entire game. Now, I thought maybe I was doing something wrong. I didn't pay attention to the very easy tutorial system that it gives you, where you just press X to drive the car. Somehow I didn't do something right, and the car is driving like 3 miles an hour. Now, I was like, okay, something's maybe wrong with this level. Maybe in the next level it'll be perfectly fine. No. It's like this the entire game. It doesn't matter if you're driving up a hill. It doesn't matter if you're driving on a trail. It doesn't matter if you're driving on a road. It doesn't matter if you're driving with other NPC vehicles within the game. For some reason, every car drives like it has the e-brake on, and you're driving at 2 miles an hour. It doesn't also help that all the other NPC vehicles drive like your car should actually drive. They actually drive the normal speed you would expect from a car. And then you have them yelling at you throughout the entire game saying, hurry up, why are you taking so long? Get back on the mission. Do this, do that. And yeah, they have that hillbilly sound in their voice when they're yelling at you. What confused me even more is because within the movie, all you see is dragons and people, which was cool. But within the game, you're seeing dragons, people, and then the babies from fucking Matthew Broderick's really shitty Godzilla movie.
Follow me!
If you don't remember the shitty Matthew Broderick Godzilla movie, you're lucky. But if you do, and you remember at the end when there was all these little baby Godzilla monsters running around in the subway system, you're fighting those as well. It seems like the bullets and missiles that you use on the dragons is like shooting them with Nerf guns. First, you can't really tell if you're actually hitting the dragons or not. You just kind of hear noises. This game has got a lot of noises going on at once. You got people yelling, you got cars driving, you got dragons flying over, you got machine gun fire, all of which is kind of undistinguishable from each other. Weird enough. And then to top it off, when you're hitting the dragons, what you think is you're hitting the dragons, it seems to do no damage. You don't know if you're hurting the dragons. It's not like there's blood coming out of the dragons or anything. The dragons just kind of fly over you and shoot fire, and occasionally one crashes into the fucking ground and then vanishes like it was a zombie from Resident Evil 2. And then you also have like a horde of these little baby Godzillas running around that you can like kind of run over with your car, and they kind of fall on the ground and get back up and then eat the NPCs that are somehow out of a vehicle running around. I want to be one of the NPC guys. I want to be a guy on the ground being able to run out of my car and go take on the dragons, not sitting in my vehicle where my vehicle's on fire, where there's no tutorial on where to find water if your vehicle's on fire, which is, I guess, what you're supposed to do. When a dragon blows fire on you, you just see your life bar slowly going down. The fire never goes out, by the way. You just see your life bar going down, and you're supposed to find water to put out the fire, but regardless, you're never going to get there in time because your car drives 3 miles an hour. There was one part of the game where I have recorded, I'm playing at the same time I'm talking here, where my vehicle was on fire. I randomly see out of the corner of my eye as I'm turning my vehicle a water station to put out the fire. I go there, but it doesn't matter because my car went so fucking slow that I died. So I end up start skipping levels because I'm like, okay, how much different is level 1 gonna be from level 5? I'm in a different car, it's still not traveling as fast, and the mission is still kill the dragons. So how much different can it be? Well, it's not. It's not different for any mission except for the very last one. So, I skipped to the very last mission of the game, which there's like 12 to begin with. And within 12 missions, there's probably like 5 subsections of things that you need to do in a game, which is go drive and protect the crew, go escort mission this convoy back to the castle, go get these crops not on fire anymore as dragons are catching them on fire and you on fire. So the last mission of the game, I just wanted to skip to the last mission at this point because of how craptastically bad this game actually is. I skipped to the last mission because we all know that the best part, if not, well, actually there's like 3 really good parts in Reign of Fire that like stand out in my mind, but we all know, if you saw the movie, the male dragon, the dragon that's like Godzilla size, is probably one of the most badass parts of the movie, at least for me. So that's where I want to go. That's what I want to fight. I'll give the game a little bit of credit right here. The main male dragon looks huge compared to you. He looks like the size, the scale-wise, I would expect him to look against the tank. But we all saw in the movie what the male dragon can do to a tank and a whole convoy of 200 people. Just annihilates them within a breath of fire. It's crazy to make you think that one tank is going to take on this dragon, and that's what they expect you to do. So not only is it just stupid, but the camera work is so bad that it's fighting against you and your player controls the whole time. And as the dragon runs through the city and you're trying to follow it, the camera clips so hard that it almost clips you out of the level. So you don't know what you're seeing. You clip through the dragon, and somehow I was on fire again before I even knew what had happened and died. And the reason why this came out the same year as the movie is because this was marketed before the movie. This game came out before the film. There were movie tickets on here. You can even see this little sticker right here. Movie tickets. This was a discount for your movie ticket. Could you imagine playing the shitty game and then the movie comes out and you're like, fuck this. This game fucking sucked. How is the movie gonna be any better? How did it do so bad? I would have loved to see this game do well, especially because of how awesome the actual film is. Movie license games, we all know, are notoriously, for the most part, they're trash, they're bad. But this had potential. This had potential because, yeah, you could have had car levels where you're fighting dragons in cars. That would have been really cool if the cars fucking actually worked. And then you could have had parts where you're on the ground as a person fighting a dragon. And then you could have had the fucking legendary ending where it gives you control of Matthew McConaughey's character as he jumps off of a fucking like skyscraper to try to throw an axe into a fucking dragon's face. It would have been cool. It would have been really cool. And if there was an era to have a cool dragon game, aside from Skyrim, based on a movie, it would have been this. And it's only been this. I can't think of any other movie besides Dragonheart where there's been a movie emphasized on the end of the world because of dragons. It's a very, very niche movie. Now, there's dragons and stuff have become more popular with video games like Elder Scrolls, Skyrim, or the HBO series Game of Thrones. But, I mean, for this time, this was like groundbreaking, at least for the type of movie that it is. Mad Max meets fucking Skyrim. That's fucking awesome. And to have the game suck as hard as it does, and the catchphrase in this, fight fire with fire, it doesn't even get the fucking year right on the back. It says 2024. The movie took place in 2020. What the fuck? And the reason why I know this takes place at the same time as the movie is because it uses the movie cutscenes to explain the whole scenario of the film. It takes place at the main castle that the movie takes place in. So, it's like it didn't even pay attention to the movie it's based off of at all. I mean, 2024. This was 2020. They killed the main dragon here in 2020. Why the fuck would there be another dragon infestation? There was only one male dragon. They made that very clear within the movie over and over and over and over again. And at the end, it wouldn't make any sense at the end of the movie if there was another dragon infestation. So, yeah, it's by far one of the worst, one of the top 5, I would think, bad movie video games I've ever played. But the reason why it's more insulting is because the game could have been fucking great. It could have been good. It could have been really good for a PlayStation 2 game. Just like the movie. It could have been a sleeper, you know, gem of a game. Instead, it follows the formula that we've all come to expect from movie licensed games, where it's just completely, utterly horrible. And could you imagine? I would have been so pissed back in 2002 if I had paid full price for that piece of shit. And I guarantee, I bet some of the sales of this game, of course I can't know for sure, but I think it's safe to say a lot of the sales for this game were probably just to get the $15 off of the movie tickets for the theater. After that, you could have just abused the system and returned the game right after you opened it, and gotten most of your money back. Reign of Fire is a great movie. Don't get me wrong. I mean, now that I've rewatched it, and it was probably the first time I had seen it, I'd probably seen the movie 3 times in my life. The theater, when it first came out on home release on VHS, and then just now. After watching it again for this 3rd time, this is definitely a Blu-ray buy for me. Like, I'm going to buy this on Blu-ray probably tonight because of how cool the movie actually is. It doesn't get enough credit. People don't ever talk about it. And when I do ever briefly mention it before, it's like, yeah, everyone remembers the movie being good, but they don't really remember the movie. They just remember that it was good and had dragons. I forgot Gerard Butler was even in this movie. That's how long it had been since I'd seen it. King Leonidas himself with Batman and fucking Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, Matthew McConaughey. What a combination for a movie where dragons take over the world and it's Mad Max. And they literally have at the beginning of the movie like some Elder Scrolls fucking explanation. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this game review. I know it's not like traditional game reviews, but there was literally so much just to rant about in this game that couldn't have been made into a game review. There's not enough of this game. This is like a bare-boned meat of a game. There's nothing to actually really explain besides drive a car really slow, shoot at dragons and hope that they're dying. And that's it. That's literally all the game is. It could have been good, but it's not. So, even if it's $1, it's the only way I would ever justify someone trying to collect that piece of shit of a game. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you on the next game review. It's Retro or Die. Have a good night.